I went from 200 to 150, 140, 150, and then I went right to 250, and then this last month was with the 380. So yeah, it was a pretty big progression. I didn't expect to hit these records that soon. I honestly didn't. I put a goal ahead of me. Like when I hit $14,000 in 1 month, like commission take home, that was the moment where I was like, F everything else, it doesn't matter. This is the only thing I focus on.
All right, guys, today's guest needs no introduction just because he was here not too long ago. And you already know this guy's a savage. Since his last appearance, he's been on an absolute tear, collecting $380,000 in cash in just 1 month and stacking consistent streaks of 30K per day for 6 days straight. We're going to get into that. Guys, this isn't just about skills. This is about mindset, momentum, and operating on a different frequency. We're about to break it all down. So if you're serious about leveling up and making more money, listen close. Tyler Berry is back, and he's coming back hotter than ever. Tyler, welcome back to the show, man.
Thank you, Mike. I appreciate you for having me. Thank you.
Dude, I mean, so this what boggles my mind. Last time you were here, we were talking about you had done, I don't know, less than 200,000?
Yeah, I think 150 was my top.
150, which 100 of that was T3 leads,
100%,
right? Which,
correct.
of course, we have all the T3 lead people hopefully listening to this call to know what is possible, right? But you went from doing about 150,000 to more than doubling that to last month, finishing solid at 380,000 in a single freaking month. What's your average order value on that?
I think it was like 39 or 4,100.
Damn, guys, that is freaking unbelievable. That is freaking unbelievable, dude. So help us understand, Tyler, what made you go and more than double your sales in, I mean, when's the last time you were here? 3-4 months ago?
Yeah, in November.
In November. So a little bit longer, a little bit, 6-7 months ago.
I would say since January, I turned up the heat literally at the start of the new year because everyone was, hot and wanted to get in shape, and I really wanted to capitalize on that.
Yep.
February was a step back. I don't know if it was because it was 28 days, but I went from 200 to 150, 140, 150, and then I went right to 250, and then this last month was with the 380. So yeah, it was a pretty big progression. I didn't expect to hit these records that soon. I honestly didn't. I put a goal ahead of me. Like when I hit $14,000 in 1 month, like commission take home, that was the moment where I was like, F everything else, it doesn't matter. This is the only thing I focus on. And that's what I literally obsessed with since now.
So now you're single-minded focus.
Yeah, I mean, that's it. That's all it was, sales, and then gym.
So that's incredible. How many calls taken are you having per day to hit those numbers?
Yeah, so I mean, last month I did just over 200 calls total. So like 200 calls, 204 calls total. So 8 to 10 calls, I would say a day. I'd probably say 8 calls a day who actually show up, and then I'm talking to them. You get the no-shows and stuff like that, but not very much.
Dang, dude, that's freaking incredible. So You go from you go from where you were at 150 doing 380. You're taking about 8 to 10 calls taken per day. What's your closing ratio at about right now?
47%.
40. Damn, that is next freaking level, guys. That's some savage shit, to be honest with you. I mean, that's incredible, man. So I would imagine last month would have been like your biggest month at one call closures.
It was
380,000. What does that equate to for someone in commissions on the team?
Close to 60,000, over 50,000.
Damn, guys, that on a fitness offer with an average order value of under $4,000. If anyone knows the space and understands what the heck that even means, that's some mad science stuff right there. That dude, congratulations.
Thank you.
That's incredible, bro.
Yeah.
So for someone like that's starting off in this thing right now, that's looking to build up momentum, like what's a piece of advice Tyler can give? How can someone make that type of what did you shift in yourself, or what did you discover in that journey that maybe you can share with our listener today?
I would say being disciplined and just like the normal stuff, consistent, resilient, If you're not, I mean, even though I closed 100, I got 96 yeses in that last month. I still got 112 no's. I still got a lot of no's and a lot of yeses, but just know that like the rejection's always going to be there. And I think the one thing that capitalized is I started working more and more focused. As in I took my job from 9 a.m. and then I worked till 7 p.m. Monday through Friday. Weekends, I would work like 10 to 4, and then Sunday, like, 3 or 4 hours. So that was like my off day, but I never was completely off. So I just got more structured and more focused instead of distracted.
Damn, more structured and more focused instead of distracted. That's so powerful. So discipline is kind of what I'm hearing you say, right?
Yeah.
Is that like, there's a lot of people on the V-Shred team. There's probably, I don't know, a couple hundred closers and whatnot, and not every person gets to a spot where they're able to collect that kind of cash. What do you think? Is it just that? Is it like the discipline? Is there anything else you think someone could do, other than just having discipline, like as far as mindset or skill sets or habits? Can you walk us through what that looks like?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, get yourself prepared for war. And like, when I say that, I mean, like if there's someone who doesn't show up to a call them 2 or 3 times. And then if they don't show up, call the next person, get them on the phone. Every moment of the day from 9 to 7, I am going hunting for the next prospect. And I say that with love because I'm going to help them.
100%.
Yeah. I would say that's a big thing. Also living the lifestyle of fitness because I do compete in bodybuilding. So every day after work, I'm at the gym for 2.5 hours.
2.5 hours?
Yeah.
Damn. It speaks for itself.
Yeah, so I work, 10, 12 hours and then I go to the gym for 2.5 hours. People would see that and they'd be like, that guy's crazy. I couldn't do that. I know. Yeah. That's why you were there, but that's why I'm here. And that's a big part of it. I think it's a lot of I'm incongruent with what I'm offering, which is a fitness offer. I also got coaching for bodybuilding for the first time ever in the last few months. So that increased my conviction.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So working on yourself increased your conviction in sales.
Oh, yeah. 100%. Tenfold.
What are the odds of that?
Yeah.
Guys, that's so powerful because you should be working on yourself first. And if you continue to work on yourself, right, it's going to make things a lot easier for you to help other people get work done on them on a sales call and help them. If you can't help yourself first, how in the world are you going to help other people? And that's what I'm hearing you say, man. Is
100%.
Hey, I'm helping myself even more now. I don't think you need a bodybuilding coach, but yet here you are.
Yeah.
Hiring a bodybuilding coach, right?
Yeah, first time.
And sure enough, like it makes sense to me why you're at the top,
Yeah.
And so that's freaking awesome, man. One thing you said, Tyler, I need to hit this home because the last few podcasts, I know you're in town, by the way, for our One Call Closers annual summit. I'm excited to have you here. Looking forward to the next couple days together. But the very last couple guests that I had on this show right now were very high performers on different offers, just like you are, right? In their own respective rights. But I asked them the same, they all talked about the one thing, like, and this is a pattern that I noticed that hurts me, dude. What you just said, I didn't ask you this. You just volunteered this information. When I have a no-show, I'm calling them 2-3 times.
Yeah.
Right? If they don't answer and I can't get them on the call, I'm literally reaching out to the next person and seeing if they can have you're not wasting time. No. You're intentional about your day. Mm-hmm. And I don't see that same level of discipline and structure and tenacity in people that are not winning.
Yeah.
And it hurts me because we talk about high value activities all the time when you have downtime. A lot of people get into remote high ticket sales and think like, I'm just going to sit there and wait and be told what to do. And just like a job, like wait until my boss tells me I have to do this or do that. And I'm like, no. Like it shouldn't be that way, right? You should be proactive, not reactive. You should be reaching out. Hit up the past no-shows you've had even from the week before, the weeks prior, right? Hit up even past calls taken that you have, follow-ups that you think have a potential to close. Let them know you're thinking about them, right? If you really genuinely care, you got these people in mind. And you said, dude, you're there to help them. And that's what matters the most, right? At the end of the day, it's service. Yeah. And so I just find it really interesting that the top performers are always the ones who have high value activities that they're focusing on, man. So I'm hoping our listener today has some takeaways. If you're listening to the last couple episodes and this one, you're seeing a pattern here of people who are making a lot of money, making a lot of impact, doing the same freaking things, guys, right? It's not rocket science. It's simple, but simple, sure, it doesn't always mean it's easy, right? But just sticking to the same things that you know to work every single day is kind of what I'm hearing you saying. Do you believe you're special?
I mean, special, like as in like I need help.
Everyone's special, right?
Yeah.
Everyone's special as far as everyone has a uniqueness to them. But do you think you were born with anything?
No, absolutely not. Zero.
Special
No,
in that
absolutely
sense?
not. There's no way. I would say the one thing that does give me an edge, and I'll say this one thing is because I had a lifetime of weight problems as a kid. So I have that feeling. I know exactly what it feels like to be overweight. I know what it feels like to be a bodybuilder on stage. I know what it likes to be in the middle too, the skinny fat. So I know what these people come to the call trying to get in shape. I know what it feels like to be in their shoes because I was them for a long time. So I have I feel their pain. And when I can feel their pain, they feel like I can trust this guy because he knows what this is like.
Yeah.
And I can kind of define it better than they can sometimes.
And is that how you build trust on your calls? Do you kind of share about your journey, or you kind of see where the person's at, and depending where they're at, you'll kind of know where to fit in a piece of your kind of life and experience in?
Yeah, I would say so. I would just say the level of empathy I've been able to obtain from that experience has drastically gone up because I had it. So yeah, I would say so. I would be able to understand them better.
And here's one thing I'm curious to get your take on, just because I asked somebody this question. Or somebody volunteered this information, but do you, so this is an interesting one. Do you get on the call and have the same exact process for every single conversation do you have? Or do you kind of figure out what type of personality that I have and maybe make some adjustments and take the conversation a little bit here, a little bit there based on the type of avatar of a person that you have?
Yeah, so ideally I do have to take it. I have to take control of the call, of course, but I'm also having a normal conversation. So I'm a lot less looking at any sort of script at all, and I'm having a conversation with them, finding out what their day-to-day pains are, struggles, like what it's like to be in their shoes for that day, every day. Why, how much longer do they want to be like this? And trying to really figure out, why is this urgent now? Why does this need to be urgent now? And the repercussions of not moving forward with like sort of getting that help.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Every call is now it's a conversation. So depending on where they bring it, I'm going to go into that and go deep into that pain because I'm raising the temperature to the room to the point where now it's not that it's too hot where they like get nervous, but where it's hot enough for them to make an urgent decision versus asking a bunch of different questions.
I see. That's powerful, man. Thank you for sharing that. So, but did you start off that way, or did you rely a little bit on a framework?
More on a framework. Yeah,
okay, but now you've dialed it in.
I have dialed it in.
So you're comfortable with the talk track. You're like, okay, I kind of have an idea of what I'm looking to do. Like, why now? What are the consequences? What have they tried in the past? What are they looking for?
Yeah.
What is the vision? Type of a deal, and you're able to kind of just have a conversation based on that.
100%. And then if there's someone who's like really just like talks a lot but knows they need a coach of some sort, because they respect me so much in the call and I have so much conviction, I literally can take control of what they're going to do and how the conversation goes and tell them almost what they need, and they 100% don't even question me for a second.
Even if you have a Mrs. Jones of an avatar of a 30 to 60-year-old female who might look at you and get intimidated, you're still able to do that with that avatar?
It's a little softer with those avatars, but yeah, 100%. I mean, it's pretty impactful.
I can understand a dude like me who's skinny fat right now, right? Looking to get to the next level, seeing a tire like, dude, yeah, okay, cool. Yeah. But like a Mrs. Jones might be a little bit more unrelatable, right?
Yeah.
It's a little bit of a different conversation there.
For sure. Absolutely. Warmth and cohesive, I guess, like just bringing that warmth in with that level of like understanding is kind of the biggest thing.
I love it. So, dude, 6-day streak collecting over $100,000, right?
Yeah, correct.
Come on, just give me one for that. Let's go. So, I want to understand this because I would imagine not every day Tyler wakes up, he's having the best day of his life, right? You're gonna have highs, you're gonna have lows. What does a bad day look like for you right now, and how does Tyler bounce back from a bad day?
So they do happen. Obviously, they still happen and stuff like that. It's not an abnormality. When I do have those bad days, it's weird because I'll go from having like my normal day now is 10K plus. 10 to 16K, 18K is like a good number. I'll hit that a lot in the month. Last month I did. But then all of a sudden I'm going 18K. The next day goes to like 3K with a refund. So I made zero. So that's hard.
Yeah.
That is hard from going from 20K in a day to zero. And then bouncing back the next day and going back to 16. It's an emotional roller coaster, but you have to remind yourself, like, we're just getting this. God has a plan. I know he's putting these people to humble me, to make sure I'm listening and doing my job. So that way the next day I come in more clear-minded. Because when I'm not getting closes and stuff like that, and I'm like, okay, let's reflect. Maybe I'm being too pushy. Maybe I'm not even listening. You know, a lot of people will argue or tell them versus understand them.
Seek first to understand and then be understood.
Yeah. That was really well said.
Damn,
exactly.
That's it. Oh, man, I love it, dude. I appreciate you sharing that because sometimes they look at people at the top like you, dude, and they're like, well, I don't have what he has, or I don't, Tyler doesn't have bad days.
Oh, yeah, I definitely do. I definitely do.
Well, those days tend to be a lot easier when you have 50, 60,000 getting deposited in your bank account on a monthly basis. That's next level, dude.
Exactly.
Man, what do you think is the thing that people misunderstand about being at the top and making this kind of money?
It's hard.
It's hard.
Yeah, I would say that a lot of people don't want to sacrifice the things and live the life like I. A lot of people would think I'm crazy doing what I do. Work, 9 a.m. to whatever 7. Go to the gym from 7 to 10 p.m. Repeat. I'm like, it's kind of like a machine. I love it. I still have the weekends a little bit more freedom and flexibility for to have a life.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's that discipline and just that grit. And a lot of people would see that and be like, I can't do that. And it's like Arnold's like, you'll never look like that. And don't worry, you never will.
Yeah.
It's like, I want to look like you. No, I don't want to look like you. It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
So it's just consistency. That's really it. Consistency and then having a why underneath it. Because the original reason I started at 9 to 7 was so I could spend more time with my fiance on the weekends.
Okay.
And I figured if I wake up an hour early every day or 2 hours early and work an hour later, that's now 10 extra hours.
Yeah.
And now I can enjoy the weekend and still have that time with that freedom and flexibility while fitting that normal life and getting the numbers I hit.
Do you think a part of what you're saying, because this is the way I look at it, I'd love to hear your take on it.
Yeah.
Just from, you're probably older than me. I'm 32. And you maybe have more life experience than me. But in my life experience, man, what I've realized, I've been in high ticket for 10 years almost. And even prior to that, just, being through the ringer and different opportunities, trying different stuff out, failing, having all these experiences, right? Trying to find whether is the thing going to be for me. I've realized that opportunities come and go and they don't last forever.
Yes.
When you look at, we're doing great with V-Shred. Hey, you're at the top. Like, is there any part of you that recognizes that there's a potential and possibility that this could be taken away every day? And that kind of gives you a little bit of urgency to make sure you're maximizing like you are every piece of the opportunity itself?
Yeah, I would say I build off momentum when I'm doing well. Like in March when I did the 250,000, I was like, okay, I'll do that. Great. Next month's going to be a little tougher because I had some things going on. But then I ended up, the better I do, the more I want to really get ahead of myself and prove to myself that I can do better. And like you said, there's no guarantee in life.
Yeah.
And a lot of people think that this is like, I don't know when the lead flow is going to slow down. I don't know. It's like a blessing to be able to be that far in front of people too is like, okay, well then let's see what I can do. Like if I'm leading 50, I want to go 100. I challenge myself too. So it's a mix of having urgency and also wanting to beat yourself every day.
Yourself.
Myself.
You versus you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Damn. That's powerful, dude. And so speaking of that, like what is the next target for you? 380, is it? Are you thinking 400? Like, are you aiming even higher? Like, what's that next level look like?
Well, it's cool because I didn't think I was going to be here this soon. I really didn't. I really wish I could tell you. I had a goal planned out A to Z. I was like, man, if I could hit 30K commission by, October this year, and then I went from like 25 to 40, 50, 60, and I'm like, I didn't expect it. I just started getting that momentum and that self-belief and conviction, and then just having conversations and connecting with people just better and being less commission breath in general. I was not attached, but I was attached.
Yeah.
I cared enough I was attached to the outcome because I cared about them, but I wasn't attached to the money. I honestly have not even thought about the money. I haven't even thought about it. People are like, you got a big paycheck. I'm like, yeah, it's cool, man. But it was more about the fact that I won and I'm very competitive and I love that. Yeah.
Yeah. That leads right into my next question. Is there a part of Tyler that enjoys knowing that, dude, I'll be honest with you, you're operating at a level that 99% of most people, let alone salespeople, will never be able to touch. Like, is there a part of you that enjoys knowing that?
Oh my God, yes, absolutely. We all want to feel significant.
Yes.
We all want to have some sort of status. And when I'm ahead by $100,000 or doubling the person second, if you don't think that's making me want to absolutely, like when I get ahead, I want to get really far ahead because I like leaving an impact not only on the people I talk to, but on everyone on the team because I know they all want to beat me.
Yeah.
Because how could you not? I would want to beat me. I would want to beat me. And I know every day when I wake up and I don't want to work, someone's like, I'm coming for Tyler. And I think about that person saying, you'll never get there. You'll never get there. And that's every day. Every day.
Every single day.
Yeah, so I kind of make up stories almost a little bit about people coming after me. It's kind of funny. Yeah.
Well, dude, hey, he's giving away all the secret sauce to you guys right now. The next friggin' 10, 15 people in line, you know who you are. I know who you are. Yeah. And all you guys are savages too, by the way. So like I respect every single person, man, that's at the top of any leaderboard because I know how hard it is to get there and to stay there.
Yeah.
Because this is another thing we should get into right now. This is the time old tale that I see all the closers falling into. And I don't think you've been here, but 1 month, they'll have the best month they've ever had.
Yeah.
Then the next month, puts off the pedal.
Yeah.
Maybe made a lot more money than I ever thought I would. And guess what? Kind of covered the next 2-3 months now, right?
Comfortable.
And got comfortable and falling into that pattern of, okay, hey, until I realize like that money's now out and I need to go back into operating with urgency, then the mindset changes and goes back. How have you been able to deal with that? Have you had that happen to you, or have you just realized like, no, like going back to what we're talking about, like the opportunities there, I realize what I have and I'm going to maximize this, Have you slowed down at all after you've had a big month?
Yeah, I would say I had slow months. I had December was really slow.
But do you think it was slow because you made money and got like comfortable with the amount of money that you had in your bank account? And you like, I'll give you the example, right? There's closers that I know that are like, hey, I only need like $3,000 to get by every month. So they'll have a $6,000 or $8,000 or $10,000 month, and they're like, oh, the next 2-3 months is covered. Like I don't have to work as hard. And then that effort's not there. And then the next month, they just bomb. Like, they barely close anything, right? They don't have that same level of urgency. And I'm just wondering if you've experienced that.
I wish I could say yes, but no. The answer is no. I'm always like, when I get doing better, I want to do better. And I don't ever put off the gas. And I don't understand people who do that. Like, oh, I can make rent this month. That's like just getting by.
That's right.
When I do better, I'm like, well, I did a 30K day. Oh my God, I can get to $300,000. Wait, all I have to do is 10K a day? That's easy. I can do that. And then I blow that water out of the water. And I just like I'm always challenging myself. I'm always pushing the gas. I'm never laying off. Because someone else wants to take my spot. Someone else, I would die for this job if I knew it existed. I didn't know it existed. Now that I've been blessed with a job and God's given me that opportunity with all the background I have to make myself the perfect avatar for this, I'm going to capitalize on it. Or else it's not like it's my duty to do that. In my opinion.
I love that, man. You're inspiring me, dude. But that is inspiring. And the reason I'm asking you that question, Tyler, is because I've just seen a trend in the people that are at the top that come on this show.
Yeah.
They don't take that foot off the pedal.
Yeah.
Right? They don't get comfortable. They don't realize like, yeah, rent's covered for the next 3 months or my expenses are covered, so I'm going to take it easy. They just keep going right at the same pace that they were going at, and they don't take that foot off the pedal. So like, I just wanted to bring that correlation together so people could understand, dude, like, take advantage of what's in front of you right now.
100%.
100%. Dude, is there anything that you want to kind of talk about that since last you were here that maybe you want to share with our listener that we kind of haven't had a chance to like dive into today?
Yeah, I would say in regards to my fiance, Samantha, she was a huge help with me getting to where I wanted to be. She was okay. And she was motivating, and she loved hearing me do well. She was there, and she sacrificed time with me so I could be successful because she knew it mattered to me. So be around people who care about you and who want you to be successful, who actually facilitate that. Like, she would make me dinner every night after working all day. Like, it was more of like a traditional role, but it really put me in a place where I don't know if I could have done it without her. Could I have? I don't know, but it would have been really hard. And it was really nice to have that support system there. The other thing is stay humble. That's the biggest thing, because I'm 11 months into this thing. I don't know anything. In my opinion, I know nothing. I know very little. Actually, that's exciting. Helps. That's exciting. Yeah. Like, the fact that I could do that, and I'm 11 months in, and I have like a lifetime ahead of me. That's amazing. And that, to me, I know in my opinion, if you were to ask me, I would say I'm okay. Yeah. I have a long way to go. I could still do things. I still screw up. I still make mistakes all the time.
Well, shout out Samantha.
Yeah.
And dude, I mean, I love what you're saying about staying humble. And, the perspective you're giving of like, I don't know a lot and I'm learning, I'm new to this, 10 months, like all of this stuff. I'm like, there's a part of me that thinks about that. And I'm like, well, for me, less is more. And so it's kind of like if what you're doing, you're keeping it simple. It sounds like you're just
Very
doing,
much.
having a similar conversation with the new set of person. Like, there's nothing wrong with knowing a little, because sometimes that works. Actually, more often than not, it works in the favor of the closer. Because the more I realize, like, closers get into the weeds and they hear more about how this works in the product and how the detail of that and the features of this, and then next thing you know, they're spewing all that information on the calls. The call's getting complicated. It's not simple anymore.
No.
It's not focused on the prospect. And then the sales aren't coming in. So I look at it like that's a blessing, because it's like less is more in sales to me.
100%.
Salespeople think, or most salespeople think, like they're gonna go in there and all they have to do is talk, and they're gonna like close. It's like, no. Ask questions, get clarity, seek to understand, be understood, make it make sense, right? Have an honest conversation about where they're at, where they're looking to go, right? What are they willing to do? Like, are they okay with staying where they're at? What are the consequences, X, Y, and Z? And I think you're just sticking to that framework, and it's just working phenomenally well for you, clearly.
Yeah. I mean, I really wish I had a secret formula or something like that. Just stay consistent, work really hard, be kind, be compassionate, and come to help, not sell people. No one wants to be sold.
No one wants to be sold, man.
And like, like the questions that are like helpful, like the questions like, so how much longer do you want to stay fat? Like, that doesn't help the person. It's like, so how much longer do you want to keep making these decisions? Then you get them to answer themselves, because they're selling themselves. You're not selling them. And that's probably the biggest thing I had to learn how to do, because that's hard.
Get people to sell you on why, not the
on
other way
why.
around.
Correct. Yeah.
That's what I realized. Like, a true sales professional understands that and realizes, like, no, like, I shouldn't be selling. I should be asking the right questions to get the prospect to sell me on why. And then later on, it's like, well, people are going to be hesitant. They are, when you drop the dollar amount, they're going to be sticker shocked, right? It's going to be fear, uncertainty, right? Oh, I've done these things in the past. They haven't worked. And all of this stuff, like, all of that's going to happen. I forgot where the heck I was going with that, but
you just stay in the habit, staying set on the goal, and just having a bigger picture outlook. I would say.
That's probably it. This is my 4th podcast, by the way. So in one day, so it's getting a little intense here. But no, man, I appreciate you a ton, Tyler. Dude, I'm excited to hang the next couple days. Appreciate you coming down again and doing this. I'd love to have you back on, dude. Anytime, whether it's virtually or in person. But that being said, you have any last final thought you want to leave with our listener today?
I would like to thank, like I said, my fiance for supporting me through all that. My family was really great about it. And also George, he's part of the V-Shred team.
Yeah.
He really helped me with, selling the year-long program and having conviction on how to hire AOV. He was a part of that. That wasn't just me. He really helps me out with the AOV on pitching a longer term program, because ultimately everyone can benefit from having a program for a longer term. Because it's going to be less chance of them falling off, better results, and then overall it could be their last investment into their health and fitness versus them falling off the wagon again. So George did help me with that, and the team. Other than that, it was 100% just being obsessed and wanting to do better and learning everything myself. I wish I could give it to a coach, but it was 100% just, if you really want something, you will find a way to make it work.
Damn, shout out Mr. Coach George, baby. Come
George
on, George. Appreciate you, dude. Love
That's
you,
it.
man. George is a solid dude.
He's great. I really
Super solid dude, man. Shout out to you, George. Tyler, dude, I appreciate you a ton. Thanks for making this happen, man.
100%.
I'm looking forward to hanging. Let's do
Awesome.
it. Guys, we'll see you on the next one. Peace.
All right.